So why would you want to get better footage from your drone? Well, you could sell it as stock footage and make some extra money. And the most important thing is you're not going to make your friends sick while watching rapid movements. And the other thing is they're not going to get bored watching a good video if you know how to use the drone. So let me give you 5 tips, or 6, maybe 7, on how to use your drone to get better footage. For this video, I'm going to be using my Mini Pro 3. So this is a DJI product. I love it. It's tiny, it fits in your pocket, but it's a great drone. It's a little bit windy. I don't know if you can see the trees moving, and I've already been trying it out in the wind and it does just fine. Now, before we start, let me show you these things. These are filters for the drone. These are ND filters. Now, these are by Freewell. I don't know, they were like 50 bucks. And there's anywhere from ND4 to ND1000. Now, these are really cool. Right now I have the ND32. These are very important because you want to make more cinematic footage. Now what that means is when you're flying near the surface, when you're doing a flyby, treetops or the ground or something, please be careful because you don't want to lose your drone. But you want to have a little bit of blur. If I don't use a filter, there's no blur because the shutter speed is way too fast. You want to double the shutter speed to that of your frame rate. Now on this drone, you can adjust your aperture. And if you can, I haven't figured out how. So I'm using the filters to adjust and compensate for that aperture. So bring your ISO the lowest you can, and then I'm gonna switch this from the 32 to the 64. It's really easy. You can see there the drone without the filter and without the lens. That is the ND64. And then just carefully, you just slide it here on the drone. Show you what I'm doing. There's the gimbal, and then there's, you just kind of slide and turn, and now it twists, and now it has an ND64 on. This should slow the shutter speed enough to match, I'm shooting at 24 frames a second, so that should give me about a 60th to a 50th of a shutter speed. These change a lot depending on the conditions. You know, you have to put it up, put the camera out, check it, and then make sure that you have the right filter for that situation. The next point I really want to emphasize is to keep all your settings on manual. If you keep it on automatic, the drone is going to change lighting based on situations, and those videos are not going to get accepted for stock. And if they don't get accepted for stock, it means they're not good. So keep your settings in manual and do the best you can to adjust. And I'll show you here on the screen record what that looks like. With this filter, I'm shooting at a 60th of a second, which is perfect. So now you can see what I mean, a slower shutter speed. The further away you go from your surface, you're not gonna notice that as much. Now the next thing that's very important is do small controlled movements. Don't go back and forth like this with the controller because that's just gonna make everybody dizzy. So when you're flying, go slow, you can use cinema mode or just use it in regular mode, but do slow controlled motions, sideways as you're going forward, start to turn sideways. And that'll give it a different perspective. You can see the whole area. Like right now I'm looking at the desert, the mountains, and just by going slow, steady and slow, it'll give you much better results and something that you're gonna be able to sell for stock. Next, remember to use the drone as tripod mode. Just because it flies and it can go everywhere doesn't mean you have to go that far. Just keep it above. Hold on, there's a bird attacking my drone. Just keep it above your subject, like in this case with the Jeep. You keep it up, look down, and you drive through. So that's another way of using your drone. It's a simple video. You could do it kayaking when you kayak underneath the drone, the car, walking, running. These are just easy, simple movements that'll give you a different perspective. That's the whole point of having a drone, is to be above things. The next thing I want to talk about is compound movements. Now you might be wondering, what are compound movements? This is when you fly your drone and you either go down as you're turning the camera up and going sideways. So there's at least 2 to 3 movements at the same time. These gives you really cool views, really cool perspectives. Okay, it's getting windy and I'm getting a warning. But just because you could, there's little flies and ants here. Doing multiple movements like this with your fingers. So as you're going forwards, lifting the camera, it changes the dynamic completely, and then you can go up or down with the drone, and that really adds to the video. These are more engaging videos and are going to keep your audience wanting to see more, just because you showed not only the background but the whole scene in one movement. Now remember also to use your tracking. Track your subject with the drone. It has all these pre-built systems to make it a lot easier to get those cinematic footage. You don't have to learn how to do all these things. The drone does it for you. If you can use all these automatic features because you paid a lot of money to get a good drone, might as well use all the settings. The camera, I will emphasize, keep it in Pro, keep it in manual mode, because then you'll be able to adjust your settings according to the lighting situations. The filter is a must, but like I said, using those automatic features are going to get you way better results than if you try to do it manually, especially if you're just starting. Now, one thing that I know, different drones have different features, but with the Mini 3 Pro, try not to zoom in. It's a digital zoom, it's not an optical zoom, so it's gonna add some artifacts and stuff, so keep it always at 1 time. I know it says it zooms at 2, but every time I do that, it doesn't look great, so keep it at 1, and if you need to get close, just fly closer to your subject. Low battery, returning home, let me catch it. No, don't go home, cancel. Okay, in order to catch it like this through the trees, I just switch it to sport mode. That way the sensors don't go off like that. It takes practice. You just land and then you just reach out and grab it. The next thing is to remember to do multiple clips from your same subject, whether you're driving on a dirt road, or whether you're rowing a kayak, or whether you're out doing whatever. The more clips you have, the more chances you're gonna have to selling multiple clips from the same subject. And also, it's going to be a lot easier to keyword and add descriptions to the same subjects. And then something else that's going to help with that is to take pictures of what you're doing. By adding photograph, this is going to make it a lot easier in Lightroom to keyword and to write descriptions, and then all you have to do for the video is copy and paste. By keeping your clips short, 3 to 10 seconds, this is going to help you get retention, and usually that's all stock footage wants. It's 5 to 10 seconds. So keep your clips short, put them together in whatever editing software you have, and people are going to be much happier than jittery and whatever footage. If you're new to my channel, my name is Charles Wollertz. Oh, I got a ton of ants. Alright, somehow I was sitting on an anthill and I got a whole bunch of ants on my legs. Nothing bit me, but it was a little freaky to just have all those things crawling. I hope this was enough. There's 5 or 6 tips that's going to help you get better footage from your drone. If you apply them, I'm sure you're going to be enjoying your videos, and your friends are going to enjoy your videos much more. Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.